pointed out a variety of things you could do to get better. Let's try and be a little more specific. What can you do at home? Well, the first thing is you have to decide what it is you want to be able to accomplish that's feasible. And then you want to practice with the help of others, trying to be able to accomplish that. All along the way, you're going to try to make use of the inherent mechanisms of learning, that neuroplasticity I mentioned, that help us enhance recovery of function. So let's say you want to be able to use your hand better and your reach better with your affected, weakened upper extremity. So you might pinch a key and put it into a key slot and open and close the lock. Now, anything you do once is worth doing 10 or 20 times. And so what you're doing there is you're practicing your trajectory of getting the key into that lock spot. You're practicing rotating your hand back and forth. You might want to reach from close by or further away. You want to stand to the side or try to reach from above or below. But the idea is you're working in this space and you're trying to repeatedly practice under various conditions so that you can hold that key and actually turn that lock open or closed. That would be one example. What if you have an aphasia, where you have difficulty finding words or speaking or understanding? Well, as your therapist has been working with you and you've been getting a little better, what you can do with your family is perhaps watch a news story or read a newspaper article together. The words that you're taking in at that time, you can then use to make it easier to access words. And the best thing then to do is to discuss that story with the family member or a friend. By doing that, you're practicing using certain words. You're becoming, hopefully, more fluent in finding those words. And of course, you're staying interested in some story that's out there. I myself, I would prefer the sports page because politics drive me crazy. But you pick something that you like and read it day after day and work on it with family and friends. What about walking? I mean, one of the most important elements that you want to recover after a stroke is being able to walk on your own without it taking a lot of energy, without getting short of breath, and be able to not just walk in your house, but be able to walk in your community and go back to socializing, doing the things that you like. Well, one of the things you want to do here is to try to increase your walking speed. So one trick I like to have patients do is to lay out a course of, let's say, 100 feet and try to see from week to week if you can't walk faster and faster over that 100 feet. So just use a stopwatch. Now, normally it takes about 25 to 30 seconds to walk 100 feet at a modest pace. You may be walking 100 feet in 45 seconds or even 60 seconds. Every week, or certainly by every month, you want to keep cutting that down by practicing your stepping, forcing yourself to walk a little bit faster, always being safe. Another thing you want to do is walk further so you can walk community distances. And that means you need to be able to walk at least 500 to 1,000 feet. So again, go to a place where you can walk on a track or in a mall or in your neighborhood if it's reasonably flat, and try to increase the distance you walk along with that speed. One of the other things that you can do while you're doing that walking is get some exercise effect. So try to walk fast enough so that you start to get a little bit short of breath, or you increase your heart rate by 20 to even 50%. You can also do that kind of conditioning, as I said, on a treadmill or an recumbent bicycle. The goal there is to work out for at least 20 to 30 minutes with a little bit of a warm up and warm down. Get your heart rate up by, let's say it normally runs 75, try to get it up if you're about 65 or 70 years old to perhaps 110, even 120. Or if you can't measure your pulse, talk to someone while you're pedaling and see if you aren't just a little short of breath. So I can speak, but you know, I have to take a little breath in between. You don't have to be huffing and puffing. And that'll give you that conditioning effect. That's something you have to do 4 or 5 times a week. The other thing that you want to do is set goals. So with your therapist, you want to set goals of what is it that I could be able to do next? I mean, I've improved to a certain level of function. Now, can I up the ante? Can I get a little bit better now that I have better trunk control? Now that I have better shoulder control? Now that I have better hip and leg control? Can I use that arm better? Can I do more activities? Can I do finer coordination? Is it time now for me to practice doing fine motor tasks? Always find something that's interesting that plays into your hobbies or your typical social activities or your normal daily routine and try to get better. And keep in mind, there's a lot of research going on at UCLA and other great universities trying to enhance recovery of function, trying to drive learning within the nervous system, trying to make use of that neuroplasticity that we're increasingly beginning to understand and perhaps control. Work hard, practice, and you'll take into account your own innate plasticity, your own innate learning mechanisms, and hopefully continue to improve your level of function.